everyone this afternoon. This is Meridian's continuing NetSuite Partner Spotlight Series. Our April guest today is Paystand. Chad, if you would mind, hit the next slide. As part of our Partner Spotlight Series, we're featuring a number of partners that Meridian works with, and I'll let them introduce themselves here in a moment, but Paystand has a mission to decentralize the financial system to transform businesses for a better economy. A spin that I'll put on that is where money is digital in this day and age. Paystand is empowering businesses to participate in the financial network instantly, automatically, and with no fees. In practice, and this is what Chad and Andrea will speak about for the balance of our presentation today, this helps organizations with B2B, business-to-business payments, automating billing and receivables, and supports that with direct integrations to financial institutions that your organizations may be involved with. Before I turn it over, I do want to highlight our next spotlight for next month, May 19th. We will be talking about warehouse management and inventory efficiency or automation solutions through our partner RF Smart. Chad, if you'd be so kind as to hit the next slide. Meridian is a technology consulting partner, and we work exclusively with the NetSuite Cloud ERP platform. As a full service consulting organization, we help prior to the sale or prior to an implementation to help companies understand what NetSuite can do for them, solution configuration consulting, business needs assessment. We certainly do the implementation and support after the sale, but while we've built our business on NetSuite, and as cool as it is, it doesn't do everything. And that's really the purpose behind the Partner Spotlight. What part of what we do, what Meridian does, is help shine a light on those partners that can help in areas that NetSuite doesn't do itself. Third-party solution analysis and research. And that's really the handoff here to our partner this month in Paystand. So with that as preamble, Chad, I'll turn it over to you and Andrea to introduce yourselves and take us through our content for today. Thank you.
Great. Hi, everyone. My name is Chad Reiser, and I am joined by Andrea Williamson. And we're so excited. We love Meridian. We love working with Meridian, and it's a great honor to be featured as one of their partners, one of those third-party solutions that integrates with NetSuite, with ERP solutions, and offers something new to the table, offers new ways for finance teams to manage what they're doing and build efficiencies and so forth. So those are our cute headshots. I love Andrea's hair. So let's talk a little bit about Paystand. Doug, you did a great job. Andrea, is there anything more to add on these 3 points of why Paystand exists?
Well, I would like to say thanks to Doug for that nice introduction. And yes, there's a lot of synergy between Meridian and Paystand. Our goals are to transform partners, clients, employees' lives using technology to make technology really work for you and make life easier using technology. And of course, NetSuite's a beautiful instance of that. So yeah, in that regard, Chad, Paystand's doing that specifically using business to business and bank to bank payment network to drive capital efficiency, reduce costs, create a better customer buying experience, and basically, again, to transform the way we do business to make it easier and smoother, to make life easier using technology.
Right. And, you know, one of the issues that we see clients faced with is sort of this, right? The monster of banks. basically, if you're going to give a bank money, they're going to charge you for it. If you're going to take money out, they're going to charge you for it. If you're going to move money from here to here, they're going to charge you for it. That's silly. We live in a world where I could send an email and an attachment, and it's free, it's easy, it's instant, and that's how payment should be. All of this mess could go away. So financial institutions have long locked businesses into restrictive, expensive processes to collect and track revenue. Okay, so what we see, again, to your point, Andrea, is it results in inefficient and manual processes that are expensive and become even more costly over time. They're expensive by dollar amount, they're expensive by our human resources, the amount of man hours that it takes to do these manual processes, and there's a better way. So here's where Paystand is. So we eliminate credit card fees, reduce manual intervention, and accelerate the collection of revenue. This makes finance teams want to partner with us. And as a subscription-based model, it offers predictable operation expenditures and lower per unit costs as your company grows. So that's where our niche is. Today, we're going to talk about AR automation. And we have 2 bonuses for you. Here's the first bonus. We have a great guide to digitizing your enterprise cash cycle. It's sort of a how-to. So if you don't walk away with anything else today, please download this and use it, even if it's just generating ideas for what your finance team or what your organization can do in order to really leverage the new technologies that are emerging and the new tools. So please scan this with your phone, and I believe the link will be posted to this downloadable resource on the Meridian's webpage as well.
Yeah, we'll make sure that that happens, Chad. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. And then stay tuned to the end. We'll have another bonus for you, and you'll really want to see what that is. Now, as we're thinking about what challenges a CFO, a controller, and the challenges that the finance team are having, there's a few ways that we can dissect this. The first challenge is really we need to automate all of these manual processes. Andrea, I know one of my favorite stories from you is, I don't know if it was a partner or a client, but we were doing a basic introduction, and we found that this particular organization had hired 400 people to manually open paper checks and match them to invoices.
Yes. Yeah, that was a healthcare company, big healthcare company. Yeah, 400 people hired just to reconcile and put the checks together with the invoices.
Yeah.
That's a huge cost.
Right. And, I'm a fan of Elon Musk. He's a little bit controversial, but one of his favorite sayings is, "It's easy to optimize the wrong process." And there's a good example of this organization, rather than trying to find some sort of automation that could help them, they instead scaled the wrong way, and they went to 400 people. That's silly. So, one of our tools is that we have a digital lockbox. So all of that is just automatically done. The invoices and checks that are sent into you are just automatically reconciled and available there for you in your ERP system. So
yeah, and that's the beauty of NetSuite. Again, the Paystand solution is just locked into NetSuite as a native suite app. So we're actually helping NetSuite be better. Like Doug said, all the partners who are adding features and making NetSuite a better product, we're actually doing that with that AR automation piece. And a lot of our customers really, really appreciate that. It's reducing that manual labor that needs to happen that they're used to doing. They don't need to do that anymore.
Right. The second challenge a CFO has is in this new economy, traditionally a CFO was really responsible for basically putting together the finance documents for the organization, delivering them to the C-suite, delivering them to investors or board members, and making sure that all like regulatory filings were made and so forth. And now we're in a position where there is so much data. There's so much financial data out there. And the CFO needs to be able to peer into that data to be able to see customer level insights. And the only way to do that is really if you have a centralized source. Now, this graphic here is one of my favorites because it really shows how complicated things can get very, very easily if you don't start off by thinking about fully integrating all of your processes and making all of the data available through one system. So, Andrea, I don't know if you've experienced this. I have, but I've onboarded to new organizations where all of the information was scattered through not even just different spreadsheets, but Google Sheets versus numbers from Apple versus Excel files. So they were like not even all in the same type of spreadsheet. They were so scattered, and it's unfortunately very common. So what our CFO needs, our modern CFO, just one source for capturing, analyzing, sharing all the data. We talked about customer level insights. A CFO needs to be able to understand who their best vendors are, how quickly they're paying invoices. If you're a B2C organization, understanding where your growth is, understanding what your churn is, and all of this data really requires a more robust system than the crazy multi spreadsheet system that a lot of new organizations are used to.
Mhm.
And the third is, as we are leaving, thank goodness, this very, very strange moment of the pandemic, how do we get back to normal, or what's the new normal, right? So developing systems for growth. So back to this example, if your business is currently on lots of different spreadsheets and systems and so forth that aren't talking to each other, one of the roles of the CFO is to figure out how to solve that problem, right? And that's why we want to partner with Doug and Meridian, because that's what they do. By implementing NetSuite and all of these other services, we talk about optimizing cash flow, and this is just a primer, so I'm just going to skip this and keep going. Now, finance teams have their own stressors. As a CFO, you're the head of an organization, which means that you are responsible for leadership and for managing people and for making sure that, in this case of the healthcare example that you brought up earlier, that those 400 individuals are happy and are not going to quit. Because if it's like a crazy manual process, you need to make sure that morale is up and all that. So it's easy to have overwhelmed employees, especially when you're thinking about like month end, end of the quarter, or any filing or reporting deadlines. As well as there's this crazy push for efficiency. That push usually happens in tandem with end of month filings and so forth. So there's, from an HR perspective, it can be a little complicated. Now, automation. Here's our thesis for today. Automation can address all of these, right? And we want you to walk away knowing that, one, I think there's maybe a little bit hesitancy of automation. Some people like to manually enter items into spreadsheets so that they know it was done, right? That's inefficient. And the technology is there, the systems are there, that we know that automation is actually much more it drives better data integrity than manually entering any information, right? So what if, okay, what if you had the right data at your fingertips? What if you could go into a system and see all the data that you're looking for, and pull reports and do analysis and find opportunities as a leader of a finance team to make big improvements, or to cut back on something that's costing way too much and reinvest those funds into maybe product development, research, personnel, maybe it's bonuses, okay? What if all of your data, you had confidence in all of the data, that it was all accurate, and that you could rely on it regularly, and you didn't have to change things all the time? What if you had a standardized month-end process? What if you had easily managed AR and AP processes for your team? So we're going to talk about these a little bit more. Andrea, thoughts?
Well, what comes to mind for me is the feedback from our clients, the CFOs, saying that using Paystand, they're extracting a lot more revenue out of their whole system. So it's not just the, automating, getting rid of some of the manual work, getting off the credit card rates to use our bank-to-bank free zero fee network, all these things, and they're actually realizing a lot more revenue in their AR process. And they're using it to grow. They're investing in sales and marketing. They're investing in product and R&D, instead of having that in this like kind of a black hole of how much it costs just to receive their payments from their clients.
Right, right. Absolutely. So let's talk about why partnering with someone like Meridian is such a good idea. So first, as a CFO, as a controller, having financial controls within your system is super important. You want to make sure that, so automating your financial controls helps you establish solid foundation for the rest of all of your processes. Okay, so it creates unified network for all accounting needs, establishing a future-proof process. And by future-proof, we mean that the technology is going to grow with your organization. And you're not going to have to revamp it from time to time. Now, again, this is why Meridian is so great. So Oracle helps with these financial controls, also helps with e-commerce, project management, supply chain and inventory, marketing and sales and CRM. So again, moving from all of those crazy spreadsheets to one source, and we are just one little piece of that finance and accounting. But Meridian is a great partner to work with, can help really diagnose the overall situation for your business and be able to build a good plan for integrating all of these systems for you. Now, accounts receivable, this is where we come in. We have a game changer with Paystand. Andrea, you mentioned that our clients are reinvesting their money. So first of all, explain to me, what money are they reinvesting?
Sure. So basically, today, for most people who aren't using Paystand, even if they're on NetSuite, even if they're using our so-called competition like VersaPay or something like that, they're still paying a large amount of their revenue to accept the payment. And what I mean by that is this old model, kind of what I would call the credit card cartel. And that's kind of a rough way of saying it. But basically that financial institution model that we've been on forever is set up where you need to pay, like you said earlier, Chad, when a bank takes your payment, you have to pay them to take your payment, so to speak, and it's a lot more than just a checking account rate per month of paying for a checking account. It's, to send money costs money, to receive money costs money. And that really doesn't need to be like that. So the Paystand model is such that we're trying to help our customers move over to a zero fee bank-to-bank network. And what that allows is getting off of those credit card fees that they're used to. So the model that we're kind of changing, the paradigm shift that we're hitting with our solution is you don't have to give away percentage points of every transaction to allow that transaction to be verified and processed and allow your company to receive that money that your client is paying you. So, it seems simple, right? But actually we've been doing it this way for a really long time, and it's just freeing up that bandwidth, freeing up that money. So when our customers are able to get to that zero fee bank to bank network, they don't have to pay credit card fees. That's 3 to 5 to 6%. We have one customer, a large public tech company, that they persuaded their customers to leave Amex, just as an example, get rid of using Amex as a payment. That company paid or saved $500 million in 1 year by getting rid of Amex and just moving them to like Visa and MasterCard. Now that's pre-Paystand. When they go to Paystand and offer that to their customers, they get rid of any credit card fee. So, the savings are huge. And so when we're talking about what can our CFOs and what can finance teams do with that money, it depends on the company, of course. It depends on the way they're set up. But just looking at straight credit card fees alone, it's a huge savings, and it's year to year to year to year. And again, I hope I'm not sounding like too much of the salesperson that I am, but Chad, it's a game changer, which is why I want to be part of the Paystand team and work with folks like Doug and Meridian to help transform the way we're doing business to make it more efficient, seamless, and smooth.
Yeah, and you said bank to bank, and I'd say that it's really business to business, because it's going to be just like you send money through Venmo, PayPal, or something like that. You're going to put in your account information, right? And it links to the other account information. But once that's done, it's done. And then you send the money, and so just like person to person, it's business to business.
That's right.
In a seamless, immediate, instant transaction. And we have some really cool technology on the back end that actually makes those funds immediately available once it's paid.
Yeah, it's really brilliant. It's great technology, proprietary, and yeah, customers like it a lot. And we're offering a gradual process. We're not asking people to do it overnight. So, customers can decide. I want to have, like, this year, my goal is to get 10% of my clientele to switch to the zero fee bank to bank network for business to business transactions. And then next year, maybe 20%, the year after, maybe 30%. And, can I move 10% of my customers away from sending me a check and use the lockbox? Can I, like that? So it's gradual. And then the more aggressive the company is with, do I want to pass on credit card fees to disincentivize them to continue to use credit cards? We work with companies to make sure it's smooth and seamless and easy, not something overnight, like a big jarring change. And then once customers get the hang of it, they kind of go, oh, okay, I get this. And clients do too, right? Like, I mean, I much prefer to use bank to bank payments with my friends and with my colleagues, where I'm just doing things that aren't business to business, than I would like to do something like PayPal, where I'm paying a 5% or $5 if I'm sending it to someone in Europe. I don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we've talked a lot about what our business to business payment network looks like. And here are just some stats. We have over 350,000 customers or users on our platform. So we have customers, and then they will send out invoices and so forth, and those individual organizations will use our network, our platform, in order to pay that particular client. So there's actually a good chance that someone listening to this right now has used Paystand to pay an invoice. And then when it comes to our automation tools, we have billing, collection, invoices, automation. We have a really cool new tool called dynamic discounting, where let's say that there's a large expense coming up. You can offer one of your favorite vendors a discount on an invoice if they pay early. We know that with the pandemic, that days sales outstanding, DSO, has increased pretty dramatically by 12 days by kind of industry average. So organizations over the last 2 years have been waiting half a month longer to realize revenue. That's what that means. Now, I found this really interesting statistics on payments.com. This isn't about Paystand, but about any AR automation tool that you can implement. Okay, so implementing just one AR automation reduced DSO by 10 days on average.
Wow. That's huge. Yeah, the DSO is a big thing that keeps CFOs up at night.
Right.
That getting rid of that is huge for our clients. And I'm sure Doug and the Meridian team has heard that as well when they're talking to the finance team. Yeah, days of sales outstanding. That's not a fun spot where so the more they can reduce that, the faster they get their revenue.
And then it also reduces bad debt. So the sooner that you can collect on an invoice, the less risk there is that invoice is going to turn into some sort of bad debt that needs to be collected on in the future, or some process. So, really these automation tools not only help create better workflow for your finance team, create more, as you mentioned, it frees up cash as an organization. You're freeing up time within your team, but you're also creating a much better customer experience for all of your vendors and clients.
Yeah. The great thing is, all we're doing is making it digital. We're using the cloud, we're using new technology, and just getting rid of what we've had to do in the past, and just making it more simple and pure and digital.
Yep. So awesome. Here's some other great options for automation. So accounts payable. We talked a little bit about dynamic discounting, and typically that discounting on invoices is done from the AP side. So having an AR option, really powerful. Also having AP automation tools, also very, very powerful. And what's a great option for AP automation? NetSuite. So, back to Meridian and how Meridian's going to help you set up something really remarkable that can transform your finance team and your business. We talked about data preservation, data transparency before. Also, I'll just kind of move on. Again, with payroll, managing HR, managing reimbursement, managing time off requests, and so forth. So all of this can be done using automation tools available to you now. You just need to implement them in your business. They all exist. Doug is and the Meridian team are experts in understanding what the needs are of your business and developing a plan for you. We talked about tax deductions and tax compliance a little bit. Again, tax compliance is a big thing for finance teams, and there are other third-party tools. Doug probably has a list of options available to you. So again, if you're not automating, then you're passing up really good opportunities for freeing up cash, for freeing up time, for moving the business forward at a new pace. So back to our overall thesis, right? So you may have in your organization something on the left computer. Lots of different screens, lots of different data sources, confusion, manual entry of data, and just data that's not transparent. It's tough to dig into data that is that widely dispersed, to be able to find those opportunities and be able to make those strategic management decisions that a manager or a CFO, a controller needs to make. So what you need is one source for capturing, analyzing, sharing data, automation to replace all of your manual processes. If there is a manual process on your team, there's probably an automation for it. And then you need a trusted partner to guide you through it. That's why we love Meridian. Here is our second bonus. Ready? If you want to talk to us more about AR automation, about what our Paystand, we talked a lot about the benefits of what we offer and not necessarily the nuts and bolts. So if you want to dive in deeper with us, please, please, please scan this code. It will take you to a special landing page on our website that you'll receive a $50 Amazon gift card for just having a conversation with us.
Wow. That's awesome, Chad. Thank you for that bonus.
Yeah,
Actually, being here at Paystand for over a quarter now, I'm amazed that with part of our sales process, we're giving so much really great consulting time to our prospects.
Right.
Where, we actually do like a really good analysis of their accounts receivable and show them where they could automate and where they could benefit from using different solutions like Paystand. And it's eye-opening for when I'm in that process. I see our prospects look at this and just go, oh my gosh, I didn't know that I was that far in the weeds and that far like missing the memo here on how much this will benefit me to make my AR process more efficient. And so to offer a $50 gift card for someone to come and talk with our sales team so that they can understand where the efficiencies are in their AR process is really, really generous. Thank you, Chad.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're glad we, this is because we really appreciate Doug and his team. And we want to make sure that any of his clients are really well taken care of. And it feels just like a natural handoff between the two of us. So I think that is all for us. Doug, I'm going to hand it back over to you.
Sure. If you maybe go back a slide there, Chad, I wanted to reinforce a couple of things. Thank you both for participating today. And, we have deployed Paystand in a number of our install base clients. And, just the reason why we've invited you to participate today, but we have really seen, the automation of the credit card processing, ACH payments, the whole automation of the billing receivables process, eliminating those manual processes. But, it presents where those have typically been manual processes in the past or still are for a number of clients, the level of reporting and insight that you can gather as an organization. Certainly it drives the reduction in DSO, getting your funds faster, driving profitability, et cetera. But it's kind of a reinforcing principle because for the first time, a lot of folks see in real time how they're actually being paid and how their customers or clients are interacting with them in that vein, because it's been such a manual process. It's kind of a black art. And we really have seen several of our clients put incentives in place to migrate whole swaths of their organization to paying through a different channel or mechanism than they have before. Some of the examples Andrea gave, are similar to that, but that real-time visibility is a real value add to all of this. So, we continue to press forward and look forward to continue to build our partnership with you.
Yeah, we're really appreciative. Thank you so much, Doug. Thanks for choosing us to be a partner for April too, to spotlight Paystand.
Sure. Not just April, ongoing for certain. But,
Yeah, definitely.
you hit the next slide. I'll wrap up real quick here, Chad. Again, I just wanted a reminder, the next wave of our partner spotlight series, May 19th, in the warehouse management and inventory management space with RF Smart. And then a couple more here, Chad. Really, and you guys have been too kind in reinforcing, who and what Meridian is. But we think of ourselves as an expert in all phases of ERP solutions. Our team has been in and around many other ERP platforms and projects associated with them. So we know how to do this. We have built our business on NetSuite as the market leading cloud ERP platform for small and medium businesses. We can be your trusted partner in bringing that to life, not only before you make your investment decision, while you're taking that live in an implementation project, and certainly after the implementation in long-term as a long-term support partner. We fulfill all aspects of that and take that very seriously because these are big, transformative changes and investments that you're making. Next slide. I think it's our last one.
Yeah.
If there are any questions or you'd like to learn more, this content, the bonus offers that Paystand has generously offered, the content of this presentation, as well as a blog post, will be on our website shortly. If there are questions that you have, please feel free to drop us a line at sales@meridianbusiness.com. We can pass those through to Andrea and Chad, or take a swack at them ourselves. But we're here to assist in any way that we can. So with that, again, Chad, Andrea, thank you so much for your time. We will get the materials up on our site, and as we receive inquiries, et cetera, we'll pass that information on to you guys.
Wonderful.
Great.
Thank you so much, Doug.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Have a great afternoon. Thanks.
Yep, you too.
Thanks.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.